Oh yeah, guys, check out this place. Little pond fishing, little bank fishing, hydrilla, sticks, logs, hyacinths. This is gonna get good. Today's video is gonna be all about the top 5 bank fishing baits. I'm gonna rate them, give them a little rating as well. We're gonna talk about them because a lot of people don't have boats and you need to know what to throw and how to fish them and all that good stuff. So let's get right into it. Pond fishing, bank fishing, top 5 baits, let's go. Lure number 1, guys. We've got a lot here to play with. Again, I'm gonna rank them when I fish with them as well. Tell you what I think about them. But first, out of the gate is a swim jig. We'll talk about the benefits of this swim jig here in a minute. This is actually a 3/8 Googan swim jig, which I love the Googan swim jig. There's lots of really cool features about that. I'm gonna rig that up on braided line, okay? This is a rod that I have with 50-pound braid. And I like a swim jig in Florida, especially around grass like this. I like braid. Now, if I'm fishing up north, sometimes I'll do fluorocarbon. But here in Florida, braid is good. And I'll tell you another reason braid's good. The other reason braid is good when you're bank fishing is because if I get hung up out there in the lake and I got 10 or 12 pound monofilament on or fluorocarbon, I can't get it off. I don't have to break it off. I'm losing a lure. This 50-pound P-line braid, strong obviously, I can usually get it off of whatever's out there. So that's good. When you're bank fishing, go a little heavier line. That's tip number 1. All right, 3/8 jig. I'm going with a little bluegill color just because that's what they like to eat this time of the year. It's a little green and orange. Match something up on it real nice. I've got this right here, a little saucy swimmer. I think I'm gonna go to a 3.8 just because I'm actually competing in the SMC nationwide tournament too. And I have to go ahead and drop some inches on them today. So that's another little side challenge that we're gonna do. One saucy swimmer. If you're watching this video and you're saying SMC nationwide tournament, what are you talking about? Online fishing tournament, fishing chaos. We've done round 1. You're probably getting close to starting round 2. You're gonna wanna jump in this thing, guys. And there's regions to it. So jump in the region that you're at. Hopefully you catch 5 big, giant, long bass. And we're gonna be inviting certain people in these regions to fish in the World Championship right here on Lake Okeechobee. In person, by the way. Okay, here we go. Little swim bait. Now look, swim jigs can be rigged up with a swim bait or like a crawdad style, like a little speed crawl or something like that. I put a little swim bait on the back of this thing because I like it. So we'll see what happens. Straight braid, thread that swim bait on the back of it there. I like that size. I want to be sure that I put a swim bait on there that's not too big, but also not too short. I want a little bit of some water to breathe around that tail. That's kind of perfect, really. All right, here we go. This thing looks good, guys. This thing looks real good. Look at that swim jig. Oh yeah, see that tail wobbing? Look at that, little wobbin tail. It's wobbling. Wobble, wobble. Swim jig, I'm just reeling it. Just reeling it in. Now this pond right here is obvious. Oh, something hit it. This pond right here is actually pretty shallow out in the middle. You know, whatever body of water you're fishing, you've got to evaluate. You know, what's the depth? I don't have a depth finder, obviously, so I can't tell. But now I can see logs and I can see vegetation growing. I know that it's not 20 foot deep out there. Wherever you fish, riverbank, lake bank, or a pond, you got to evaluate those things. Because if it is deep, let's just take this. This is shallow. It's good for swim jig. If it was deep out in the middle of this thing, I'm not going to be casting the swim jig out in the middle of 20 foot of water, reeling the swim jig out over 20 foot of water. I'm going to then cast down the shoreline of the bank, like this way. But because this pond is shallow, I'm going to fish out and down the shorelines. Oh yeah, there we go. Steady retrieve. There's something down there making noises. I guess it's a frog. So guys, let me talk about how I like to retrieve this. A swim jig is pretty basic, right? You're just going to cast it out and reel it in, right? But real important is rod position and speed of the reel, like how fast you're reeling it. I'm not going to want to burn it. They don't like burning a swim jig. I mean, obviously you can catch fish doing lots of different techniques, but the way you're going to catch most of your fish, get most of your bites is this way. I'm going to throw the swim jig out there. I'm going to hold my rod tip up at like 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. 2 reasons for that. One is if I get a bite right now, I can drop the tip and then set the hook. Because if I'm all the way like this, pointed at it, and one hits it right now, I don't have anywhere to go. So I'm out of position, and that's not good. So I like holding my rod tip up. The other reason I hold my rod tip up at an angle is when I'm coming through tree limbs and stuff like that out here, to come through the vegetation and the trees and the sticks better than again if I'm holding it flat. It's a better position. So that's number one. Number two is your speed of retrieve. Really, I like a medium retrieve. I just like a medium retrieve. I want this about halfway through the water column, and I don't want it on the bottom, and I don't want to burn it on the surface. So I just want it halfway through the water column. This is 3/8. I wouldn't throw a half because it'd be too heavy. You could throw a quarter. So in a situation like this, 3/8 or quarter would be your go-to with this type of layout, this type of water depth. If it was real deep, a half might be better, you know, if you're trying to throw down a deeper shoreline. But 3/8 to quarter, that's your deal there. And that's the retrieve basically. So now let's see if we can catch one. There's one. Oh, he jumped off. Dang it. Right out in the middle of that thing. Oh, there he is. Oh, yeah. Right there, guys. Swim jig. Done passed the test right there. That's awesome. Didn't take long. Look at that hook through there. And that's the other reason you use braid, is that when you drive a hook with braid, it gets them. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'd had 10 or 12 pound line, might not have stuck all the way through there. But there we go. Bass number one, not a real big one. We're not gonna add him into the SMC yet. We're gonna wait to get a little bit bigger, but right there, guys, swim jig. There you go, number one. And I actually had 2 bites on that cast. The first bite came out in the middle of the sticks, and I missed that fish. And then as I got closer to the bank here, he actually bit there. So pretty cool. I like the swim jig because of how obviously weedless it is and how stealthy it is. Not that you need a real stealthy thing right now, but there's times that they do want a little bit of some stealthiness to it, and a swim jig is obviously quite, like a chatterbait works good. I like a chatterbait. Chatterbait would be another option, but for right now, through all those sticks, swim jig is the deal. All right, so we're gonna rate this jig, okay? Everybody knows the rules. One fish, we're gonna give it a rating. All these sticks and all this grass, a swim jig in a situation like this, giving this a 9.0. A 9.0. Okay, that's what I'm giving this swim jig because of its effectiveness in this type of cover. Now, if those sticks weren't out there in the middle, rating would be a lot less. But this is perfect swim jig conditions right here. Wind blowing in, shallow vegetation, shallow sticks, 9.0. Guggen swim jig right there, guys, with a sausage swimmer on the back of it. All right, so let's go with the chatterbait. Okay, chatterbait time. There we go. I'm gonna tie a Palomar knot on that, straight braid. Again, I'm bank fishing. I like straight braid. Just solves a lot of problems. If I was in my boat, I'd probably opt for 15 or 17 pound fluorocarbon. The other great thing about braid, this is the 50 pound P-line no fade braid. Braid lasts forever. Like I could put fluorocarbon on or mono on, and you fish with it for a couple weeks or whatever, and you get scratches on it, gets scuffed up. It's just all of a sudden you got to change the line. It's like, okay, it's time to change. There's reels in my garage right now that's had the same braid on it for like a couple years. You know, like my flipping stuff and some of these rods that I'm not using, like tournament rods or just like my fun fishing rods. Like it can go forever with the same braid on there. So you get more bang for your buck spooling up your rods with braid when you're bank fishing, because you can save all that hassle of having to respool. All right, so I just rigged up a green pumpkin chatterbait. This is a 1/2 ounce. I didn't bring a 3/8, but I'm kind of wishing I did. But we're gonna give it a shot and see what happens. Chatterbaits work really well in the sticks like that as long as you don't get them hung up, and they work really, really good in the submerged vegetation. Chatterbaits, I've caught a lot of big fish over the years on a chatterbait. It's one of my top 3 big fish baits when you can fish it effectively. Especially like in the winter time or in the fall when Big fish rip shallow eating on shad and stuff. Tree, see? I'm hung up on a tree. That's what I mean. Came off. There we go. Got it off. Again, I'm glad I have the 50 braid, because if I wouldn't have had the 50 braid, it probably would have got hung up and I would have lost the bait. Like accurate cast. Let me give you a tip on this. If you're wanting to throw a chatterbait in thicker wooded stuff like this, I would go to a different type of trailer, okay? This is a swim bait trailer I have on the back of this. Is what I grabbed before we came out here, but looking at these sticks and evaluating it a little differently, I would have opted for like a Kraken craw that has 2 flaps, or a speed craw, something like a crawdad or creature bait that has 2 flaps on either side. It holds that bait upright a little bit more, and it won't allow your bait to roll into the log or the sticks as much. It's still gonna get hung up, but not quite as much. You put on something with big flappers, it just kind of keels it perfect and allows it just to roll over things a little better. The swim bait, because it's pulling from the center only, it rolls. So, all right. Similar retrieve to the swim jig, to be honest with you. But it's funny, like the hook set's a little different. A slight different way to set the hook with a chatterbait versus a swim jig. I find myself leaning into the bite more than stopping and setting the hook real hard. Like with a swim jig, I'll get the bite, drop my tip, set my feet, set the hook and reel like crazy. With a chatterbait, it's more of I just sweep the rod. It's a different, like that. Like that. Did you see I just swept the rod? I didn't step back and just rear back and catch him. Little guy right there. Chatterbaits are supposed to catch big fish. There we go. It didn't take long at all. Went about 40 yards down the bank. Little guy. Took my trailer. All right, there we go. Fish number 2. Bait number 2. Okay. All right, even though my trailer's gone, I'm not sure what happened to my trailer. I'm going to give this thing a rating. Again, you know the rules. 1 fish, 1 rating. Chatterbait, 1/2 ounce green pumpkin, straight braid. I'm going to give it, with this setup, this conditions right here, this type of pond, I'm going to give this bait a, you're going to be shocked at this, I'm giving it a 7. And here's why. A chatterbait is not the most weedless bait when it comes to hard cover like these trees. So if I have a pond that has a whole lot of timber in it and logs and sticks like this, chatterbait will get bit, but you're going to get hung up a ton. Again, going back to the braid, that's why it's good to have good heavy braid on. If you do get hung up, probably can get it off. But if there's big heavy duty stumps out there, you might not. You might break a lot of these off. You will get bit on it just like I did, but again, it's way harder to fish it in that thick stuff. It's better in vegetation only versus logs and sticks and laydowns. So I have to give it a 7 just because if this is the only bait I had, I'd be a little limited in this area. I couldn't make super long casts like I did with the swim jig, all out in the middle of those sticks right there. Are you getting all that? Here, turn around, I can shoot down my arm like this way. I can't make a cast with this chatterbait out in the dead center of all those sticks because I would definitely get hung up. 100% hung up. I would make it 5 feet. The first limb I came to, it would get hung up. So that's why I got to give it a 7. So even though it's a good pond bait, for this type of situation, I have to give it a 7. That's the way it is. Let's move on to the next one. All right, before we rig up bait number 3, we're going to actually move locations because where I want to fish this next spot doesn't have as many of these trees out here. It's a totally different type of thing. There's some other features to this pond that I want to describe and talk about, and I think that will help support bait number 3, bait number 4, and then finally our number 1 bait, hopefully our number 1 bait, highest rated bait, I think. We'll let the fish and the conditions judge that coming up here in a minute. So let's go. Bait number 3 in the pond challenge, bank fishing challenge, is a lipless vibrating crankbait. This one right here is by Bass Mafia. It's called the Boss Vibe. And I'm excited to throw this one because as I'm looking at this part of the lake, we're in a different part now, no sticks, but mostly grass, but there's an open section right here. I'm excited about throwing this lipless crankbait through this open section where there's no grass to see what happens. So you've got all this vegetation. By the way, we have a frog in the mix, so we're going to be throwing a frog here in a second, but we have all this vegetation. We have this open hole right here. And this is where water flows back and forth from the section behind us to this section, and there's a little bit of a sandbar out in the middle of this thing. And that's why I've opted to throw the Lipless right here. A little bit more open water, a little sandbar, and see what happens. Oh yeah, it's coming through there perfect. Coming through there perfect. Hold my rod tip up really high. Look how high I'm holding it. A lot higher than even the swim jig. All that bait jumping around out there. Oh yeah, come on. This is good. Now there's something unique about this Boss Vibe that we'll talk about. A little bit different. Oh God, right there. Oh, he just smoked it at the shoreline, guys. Whoa. Oh, hey, I see him right here. Watch this. Let's see if he gets it again. What the heck? Oh wow, look at him right there. Look at him right there. They're swimming by that pipe. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Look at him right there. Look at him right there. Right here by this pipe. Oh gosh. Look at him right there. There's like a 5-pounder on that pipe right there. Can't throw it way up in that grass, but these little sandbars, this little pipe right here. Throw it down the shoreline. I'm holding the rod tip up high on a long cast, and I slowly start to drop it down as it gets closer to the shoreline. Man, I had 2 of them hit it right here, guys. Oh, I got one behind it. Ooh. Oh, there he is. That didn't take long. That is not what's swimming around in this lake. I saw a 5-pounder, guys, mouth this thing and somehow didn't get hooked. Look how skinny he is. Dude, he is like got problems, bro. Look at that. That is. And I just had a big one wake it out off that bar. There's something really, really particular about it that's so cool and makes it almost a must-have when it comes to your tackle box, okay? Look, I have every kind of lipless you can imagine. I've got Yozuris, I've got rattle traps, I've got everything, and this is the Bass Mafia Boss Vibe. This particular bait, what's neat about it, it has an extra wide, what I call the nose or the top, okay? And that allows this bait to run shallower than your normal lipless. So in a situation like this shallow pond with shallow grass, I don't want this bigger bodied bait to dig down real deep. This bait is fantastic for that. So it's a better situation. If I was wanting to get this bait a little bit deeper, I might go with a different brand. But when I'm fishing shallow grass, which I do a lot, this is a must-have because of how shallow this thing can run, guys. The Boss Vibe sounds good. It had a couple bites right off the bat and I lost them. But man, pretty cool right there. All right, guys, everybody knows the rules. 1 fish, 1 rating. Here we go. 15-pound P-line, 7-foot, medium heavy, TP2, Lipless, Boss Vibe by Bass Mafia. I'm giving this bait in this situation with this shallow grass and being able to keep it above the vegetation better than a typical lipless in a situation like this. I'm going to give this one a straight 8.1. And here's why, guys. I can't make long casts everywhere out here, but right there where there's that submerged vegetation, I'm able to come through that exact area and not get bogged down every single time. So I got to give this thing an 8.1. That's the rating I'm giving it. So guys, that is it. Now it's time to move on to bait number 4. All right, guys, getting to the best part of the challenge now. Bait number 4 of the bank challenge. Right here, I mean, this thing, man, I tell you, we'll talk about it, but this might be the highest rated one. We're gonna see how it performs. Let's go. All right, I've got the brand new Bass Mafia. This one right here is called the Cannonball. Beautiful frog, guys. That thing is amazing. Comes in lots of different colors. Brand new design, kind of unique. Has a weighted hook system on the bottom. And it's pretty darn awesome. That's just a really good looking frog. Got it rigged up on 50-pound braid as well. And this is actually a 7.3 rod, which is a little bit different than my other one here. So let's see what happens. When you're bank fishing with a frog, you have to make sure that you're popping your line down a little bit. You don't want to pop up. It'll make your frog not pop as good. With a frog, you want to change the retrieve up a little bit. Like, it just kind of depends on the time of the year, of course. Are they feeding on bluegill? Is it like a post-spawn deal? Is it a spawn thing? You know, we're kind of in the fall. It's not either one of those things. There probably is a few bluegill spawning, but just a kind of a constant retrieve. Just imitating a bluegill. Just trying to get some action. This time of year, they do feed on shad a little bit more. You know, I've opted for this black one. But in the fall, I do kind of start gravitating more towards white colored baits or shad colored baits. Just seems to produce a little better consistent bite. Oh, there he is. Look at him over in that grass. Oh boy! Froggy, froggy! Froggy, froggy! There we go. Look at that one. Look at that one, guys. Yeah! All right, well, we know what is leading on the bank challenge. Mr. Frog. Barely got him hooked, though. Look at that. But that's a good hook. See how it went through both? That was right in that thick stuff. And you know what? I'm casting out here in the middle where we threw that lipless and didn't get any bites. Threw this frog in that grass mat right there. And that's a good one, guys. So, one fish. Everybody knows the rules, right? What are we going to rate this frog for a pond like this? Man, 9.5, baby. 9.5. Because of all the matted up grass, that bait right there gets the job done. 50-pound braid, 7'3", heavy action rod. Big old fatty, boys. That's awesome. Let's let this one go. Dude, that was cool. That was very cool. See you, dude. Guys, that was awesome. Yeah, see the matted up grass? This time of the year in the fall, those mats will get hollow underneath. And when they get hollow underneath, those bass will hide underneath there. That frog comes across the top, they blow through the mat and eat it. So, and that's why you need braid. That's why you need a heavy rod. And we're down to the last one. What is going to be the last bait in the challenge? Let's go find out. All right, so finishing this thing up. It's starting to sprinkle right now. It's crazy how Florida is with all this weather. But so far, Frog's in the lead. Frog's got the highest rating. It's obviously got the biggest fish right now. The last, number one, I think, number one bank fishing bait of all time is going to be a Texas rig worm. Now, I've got two worms. So it's going to be a little side category. I've got a Guggenlunker log right here, and I also have a Zoom speed worm, which is what we catch a lot of fish on here in Florida on both these baits right here. So I'm going to actually take the June bug one because June bug's a little bit better color, believe it or not, here in Florida, and or watermelon red. So these are the two worms that we're going to try, and we're going to kind of combine them in the worm category. Let's see what we can pull off here. Let's go for a little walk and see what happens down the way here. This setup right here, got it rigged up on a 7/6 heavy rod. This is more like a flipping stick. On the speed worm stuff, I do like a longer rod to make longer casts. I don't have braid on this particular one, but this is 20-pound fluorocarbon, which I like fine. And in a situation like this where it's just grass, I'm not too worried about it. So see if we can't walk down here to the end here and see what we can see if we can't catch something bigger than what we did on that frog. Gotta watch for gators, gotta watch for gators or snakes. Gators and snakes. Okay. I'm starting with a speed worm just because they like it. Oh gosh, I just got smoked. Oh! He just took my worm. Did I bring a second one? Didn't bring a second one. He literally ran it down. How do you do that? He didn't even have hands. How does a fish do that? Didn't even have hands. Boy, I just walked really far and did not bring another speed worm, but that's okay. That's okay. Texas rig, straight shank, TK 130. I like that right there. Little 5/16 weight. I'm gonna swim this, believe it or not. Let's see what happens if I swim it. Right deep hole right there. I got one. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh, he was in the grass too. It's another good one, guys. Look at that one. Oh, there's one with him. There's one with him. Oh my gosh, there's two with him. Watch this, guys. Watch this. There's literally three right there. Yeah, there was like three with him. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? Literally right here. Golly. Okay, that didn't work. Not as big as the frogfish. So what does that tell you? I don't know. I don't know. Frogs do get bigger bites consistently. Chatterbaits do get bigger bites consistently. A big jig does get bigger bites consistently. So what do I rate a Texas rig approach in a pond like this? Guys, I hate to do it, but I gotta give it a 9.7. And you know why? Because you can fish it everywhere. If it's 20 foot deep, I can fish it. If it's 5 foot deep, I can fish it. If there's grass, I can fish it. If there's trees, I can fish it. This is the #1 bait for bank fishing by far, Texas rig worm. There we go. You heard it here first. Let's let that fish go, guys. Oh yeah, smells good. So guys, that is it. Bank challenge officially over. #1 bait, Texas rig. #2, Bass Mafia frog, guys. So thank you all for hanging out. Hopefully this little video will just give you guys some tips. We had some fun doing it. I'm gonna stick around, hopefully catch a few more fish, because one fish, everybody knows the rules. We're done with that. We're gonna catch a bunch, guys. Thanks for watching. Drop some comments down below, and be sure to share this video out, guys. We'll see you. Boom!